So we are going to spend another 20 hours with you, through which we are trying to mold your personality in the positive sense. The personality which is expected by the UPSC. So we want to just make your personality as the personality which is most likable by each and everyone. So that is the main objective. For leading this entire program, we have with us the senior most director, retired former IT secretary, Shri Vivek Harinarain IAS, and along with him, there are many expert panels like Mr. Unina sir, Major Unina sir, and apart from these two gentlemen, we are also expecting many more directors to come and join with us in this program. And followed by this 20 hours program, we are also planning to conduct a mock interview session that is planned on 2nd and 3rd February. 2nd morning as well as afternoon, as well as 3rd morning and afternoon, for which already we have discussed with many senior bureaucrats like G. Balachandran IAS from West Bengal is going to come, and Rainbow IAS already have spoken to him. J. Pari IPS already have spoken to him. They have all given the confirmations. And recently recruited bureaucrats like Mr. Pratap IAS is going to join with us, and J. Silan IAS is going to join with us, Nandakumar IRS is going to join with us, and Ravi IPS is going to join with us, even Silendra Babu IPS is going to join with us, and many bureaucrats, and academicians like environmentalists, and the experts like Mr. Upadhyaya, who is currently working as the Principal Conservator of Forest. He is also going to come as a panel member. So this program, I'm sure, after attending all the programs, I'm sure your personality will be something very good. As I mentioned earlier, the personality which is expected by the UPSC panel member. So wish you all a very good future, and this 2019, I'm sure this will change your career, and wish you all success once again. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Vivek. This talks about enjoy your UPSC personality test golden tips by Vivek Harinarain. So who's Vivek Harinarain first? I'm Vivek Harinarain, and I'm otherwise from Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh, but got selected in the IAS in 1980. So got selected in the IAS in 1980 and joined the Tamil Nadu. Now, why I felt that this is important is I had the good fortune and of getting 212 out of 250 in the personality test, which is the interview, in the year that I was selected. It makes a lot of difference. So that those days the total number of marks were 250, and the reason why I felt that the topic itself, enjoy your text, because I enjoyed it. I spent about 35 to 40 minutes inside that hall for the UPSC personality test, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. I think that was the reason why I felt that you must enjoy it. You must enjoy that 35, 25 to 30 minutes that you have. And which means if you have enjoyed it, the panel has also enjoyed it. So you enjoy the panel enjoys you. And that's when you come out, people say that, okay, wow, this was a good time spent. This boy or girl would be an ideal person to join the services. That was one. But how do you enjoy it? You only enjoy it when your preparation is rock solid, when you are well prepared. How do you say that your preparation should be the same? It means you have the knowledge, you have practiced that knowledge, and you are certain about how do you lead that personality. So that is the important aspect. Now, a lot of people, I think even today, some people had mentioned about coming here, but they've gone to the mock test. Honestly, I feel that the mock test is just a very small part of the preparation which you need to do for the personality test. It's like, testing, eating the pudding. Mock test is like eating the pudding. I mean, when you eat the pudding and you say, is it good or bad? That's the mock test. But how do you prepare the pudding? How do you prepare that recipe? So, I mean, how much, atta to take, how much maru to take, how much yeast to put into it, what temperature, bake it to what time. All those things goes into the fact that in the final pudding of the cake, whatever the thing is ready. And then you eat it and you say, wow, this is perfect. Now what we are going to tell you is how to prepare. The outcome will automatically be good. Once you're well prepared, you will automatically be able to qualify in a much better manner. So that's briefly about me. Uni, would you like to quickly tell something about yourself?
Okay, so I'm squad leader Uni Nair. We have a squad leader tag which gets attached, like IAS gets attached to them. Squad leader gets attached to us because we are getting commission from the president of the country. Squad leader means I was with the Air Force. So I was there for about 14 years. I'm from Kerala, but grew up here in Chennai. And 14 years there, been running the company that I'm now with about 15 years now. Okay, so that's briefly about it. Okay.
So first of all, congratulations. Congratulations on your selection in the civil service exams. I think that itself is a very big point because typically, almost 1 billion people write the exam. Let's keep that. There are about 10 lakh people who prepare, not write, probably who apply. Then a very large, maybe half of that, 500,000 or some odd number, writes the exams. But a very smaller number is called to come and prepare for the write the mains exam. And from the main examination, then even a much smaller number is called for the so-called personality test. And the total number of seats, I think, total is about 1,900 something. So let's say 2,000 seats approximately. Now, out of 2,000 seats, probably 4 or 5 times the number would be called for interview, is my assumption. So, actually, you have come across the most important part. You have got down to that distance to the point that now you are just, the recipe is ready, you are being put into the oven. And how many minutes you have to bake and what will be the product that will come out. That's what's being tested. So it's very important that you must understand and appreciate what you have already achieved. And that's big. So heartiest congratulations to you. But again, it's part of the process. I think 2-3 things I'll just grab a marker pen. So first thing we normally always do for all the people and have done it, thing is I write down my name and my telephone number and so my name is Vivek. And my telephone number is 99401 32323. Only 984 98400
7211.
7211. Please note down these numbers and essentially anytime you want to call us, talk to us, you can take it. I don't want to feel that sense of regret that I had a doubt, I couldn't hear it, I didn't know the answer. And that became the reason for not getting the best possible marks. So please understand that we are at your disposal and there will be more people who will be coming and talking to you. So, first of all, as I said, never let yourself be a product of your surroundings. Ensure that your surroundings become a part of your personality. Now, when I say this, which means, all I'm trying to say is that you have to be unique. They will select you for what you are. So, can you just introduce yourself? Bala Murugan. Okay. And where are you from?
I'm coming from Trivandrum.
No, where are you from? Chennai.
Chennai, Harinarain.
No, you Chennai ala, alage Ummile, Tirunmalai Mavattam, Thanjavur Mavattam.
Originally, I came from Trivandrum district.
No, I'm not interested where you came from. You could be coming from across the road. Unga Mavattam Tiruvallur. So, Palaya Thanjavur Mavattam, Ippo Tiruvallur Mavattam. You are coming from Tamil Nadu. You're from Navy. But okay. And you qualified the mains?
Yes.
You're appearing for the personality?
Yes.
Wow. First time. Now, how many of you are doing it the first time? This is you said your second time. You are, of course, only preparing for the assistant commandant. What what
first time for your class.
No, for my class, no. How many times have you appeared for the
I
prelims?
applied last time. This is my second interview.
Last time what happened?
I got 171.
No, last time what happened was you cleared the prelims or you didn't clear the prelims?
Last time I applied for interviews.
So you appeared for interview also. Alright, okay. So this is last time also you got through prelims, mains and the interview. But you didn't get any service.
I didn't get qualified.
Okay. Because I already know him. And you are Neeraj, you are a patient of the system common arts. Okay. So very briefly again, you said you had your total number was 834.
Wow.
Total marks.
923.
923. And 100 interview in that
154.
154. And what was your marks in the main?
Mains mark. 780.
780 plus.
171.
So that is about 950 something, 950. But 950 was not, you couldn't make it.
968 was the cutoff marks.
Okay. Any community wise, I mean, you said you're from the SC community. What about
From OBC.
OBC? Okay. So I think one of the reasons why I'm wanting to stress on the personality test again and again is the fact that historically, just let me tell you, there was a time in 1960s and 70s. If the total number of, and I'm just keeping a number for assumption, if the total number of people selected for the services, and out of that the top 100 would be, let's say, for the foreign service, police service, I mean for the foreign service and the IAS. Typically, in the foreign service and IAS, if there were 100 people selected all across India, anywhere between 75 to 80 would be from Tamil Nadu. I'm talking 60s. If you go and see this movie called the Accidental Prime Minister, it's running now, the Accidental Prime Minister. Everybody in the PM's office is from the south. Even there. Nair, south. Then M.K. Narayanan, IPS officer, he becomes. J.N. Dixit sounds like a North Indian, but he's actually a Kerala. J.N. Dixit, of course, he was the High Commissioner of Sri Lanka and then he died of a heart attack, so they had to replace him. All of them, whether it's a Narayanan or this thing or a Ganapati, or all of them from the south. My batch, 1980, about 40 to 50% people were from Tamil Nadu. Which means, as it is, people from Tamil Nadu fed up the cadre of Tamil Nadu and south. But large numbers also went and served in other states. So when we got into the IAS in 1980, and people who were at that point of time, let's say 25 to 30 years seniority, who were becoming chief secretaries, you please go and check out. Chief Secretary of Rajasthan would be from Tamil Nadu, Chief Secretary of UP would be from Tamil Nadu, I'm from UP. But for almost like 15-20 years, the only Chief Secretaries would be from either somebody from Kerala or somebody from Tamil Nadu. For the simple reason that the batch itself in UP and Kerala would be from Tamil Nadu. There would hardly be any percentage. You zoom down to today, it's very difficult to find names from Tamil Nadu in the top 100. And I think one of the reasons is not because they are not qualifying in the mains. One of the major reasons is that we are getting less marks in our personality test. In the north, children are quite easily making 200 plus out of 275. So that's the reason I felt that, and I always felt that, today we had a small discussion, I always felt that you need very intense preparation for the personality test. And it is not just mock interviews. Mock interviews, as I said, just is like testing the final product. But how do you assemble it? It's like putting the ignition in the car and making the car run. But how do you assemble the car? How do you assemble the engine? How do you assemble everything? That is what is more important, and that is what we are going to tell you exactly in this entire process. Personality, as I said, is defined as a characteristic set of behavior, cognition, and emotional patterns that develop from biological environment factors. It is about your thought, it's about your emotions, it's about your feelings, it's about your behavior. This is what the personality is. Very clearly, let me also tell you that in the personality, test. Another thing, mantra, which I want all of you to cling on to like it is life, is this. And I told some people in the morning also. Think and shrink. This is a mantra to success. And this is exactly what you would have been doing all your life. Many options, you have to think quickly, shrink it down to the best option, and this is exactly what you have done in the prelims. Large number of 4, 5 C odd questions, options, you have to think one, come down to one simple right. You were able to successfully do that think and shrink in a multi-choice question answer session. Then it came to the next one, which is, a lot of data in terms of a written form. Thinking quickly as to how to reduce 250 words, 300 words. The topics of essay that you will get, people have written books on it. Thousands and lakhs of pages of data and matter has been written on some of the topics that come to you for your essay. You have to think through that 10,000 and bring it down to 250. Now the last crucial part is interview. Where again they'll ask you a question. You have a huge amount of data in your mind. How do you bring it down to a 2-minute answer, spoken? So mental process is think and shrink, which he will tell you how to do the think and shrink. But how to do it is the test of the process. So it's not just what you say, it's how you say. That is one. Remember, as I said, behaviors that are unique to a person. Now, please, as remember, you quickly will have what is your name? Sorry? Bharati. Now, Bharati will have to be Bharati. Neeraj will have to be Neeraj. They are going for some other exam. But they will test you for what you are. They will not test you for that whether you are behaving like Kamala Hassan or you are behaving like Rajnikant or you are behaving like someone else. They will test you for what you are. And your unique personality is what will either attract them or they will think otherwise. So what is this personality development? What we will be doing in this personality development is basically enhancing your own confidence level. Your own confidence level, improving your communicational skills. Right? Your personality test, let me tell you, when do you think your personality test starts? You don't have to answer because he already knows the answer. When do you think your personality test starts? In the UPSC. The actual personality. Sorry?
When they saw my dad.
When they saw your dad. Okay? But don't you think the personality test starts when you write the dad? Because that is what they will see. So how to write the graph is very important. So that's what I'm trying to tell you, that the personality test is not for 25-30 minutes. Your personality test is actually right from your DAF to when do you start, when do you reach Delhi, what is the weather like in Delhi, what kind of clothes to wear, how will you enter into the room, what kind of facial expression to have, everything. They said, as always said, you never get a second chance to make the first impression. So how do you get in? Do they see a person who's like nervous, or do they see a person who's just walking in? Now, I remember Undi said, we were talking about it, and I said, the interview, when you're entering into it, it's like you're going to meet your girlfriend. You're excited about it, isn't it? I hope you all have girlfriends. No, don't give me answer no, sir, I don't have girlfriend. Because then I think. So, when you're going to meet anyone you love, forget the girlfriend. I mean, let's say you are going to meet your father after long. You were away for a training program and this thing, and you love your father. When you're going to enter the thing, do you enter reluctantly? No. Appa, now the time. So it should be like that. You should be excited about the fact that you are going to meet somebody. And if your father or let's say some person whom you love has said, why don't you come by Pathmani Padrangla? Normally what will happen is you go there at 9 o'clock because you want to spend extra time. So that's the whole excitement that has to be built up. So when you are entering into that hall, it should be that same excitement when you are exactly going to meet someone whom you love, whom you know, who knows you, and you know you are going to have a good time. And that's the exact reason why I've said enjoy your personality test. Your personality test should be actually a time which you remember and recall with great enjoyment. Super 30 minutes. That's the point. That's what I'm trying to do. So, we will be telling you all about how to improve your confidence, how to improve your communicational skills, how to improve your etiquettes and manners, how to sit, where to keep your hands, how to look good, how to look confident even though there may be butterflies inside, how to be confident, how to be able to communicate the answer, how to be able even to say no, I'm sorry I don't know, how do you come out looking as somebody who's positive and not somebody who's negative. So that's the important point. And as I said, to check on the candidates, what is the personality test? It is to check on your capacity and capability on whether how suitable you are for administration. It is not a test of your knowledge anymore. The test of your knowledge part of it is already over. In terms of your analytical skills and your writing skills, knowledge has already been tested. You were, your subject was given, you have tested your knowledge, you have come out successful, knowledge part of it is already over. It is now a test of your personality. And I said personality is a sum total of your thoughts, emotions, behavior, communicational skills, soft skills, all those things make up your personality. This is what it will be tested. And it is, as I said, it's not a question answer session. It is not what is your name, my name. Now, typically I keep telling them, if it is a conversation, when you're having a conversation with someone, you would probably be able to discuss in 25 to 30 minutes, maybe 7 to 8 subjects. You'll be able to discuss. But if it is a question answer session, in 25 to 30 minutes, I'm assuming you can even be asked 50 questions. 40 to 50 questions. Now your chances of saying that I know or I don't know, let us say if it remains constant, in a 50 question, the chances are at least 20-25 you will say I don't know. But if you are having a conversation around areas in which you are confident, probably in 1 or 2 some questions you might say some that particular detail I don't know. But your conversation will go in a manner that you just talk. So it's not like, did you know this? No, sir. Do you know this? Yes, sir. It's not that. So it's not a question answer session. Get out of that question answer session mode. We'll teach you how to do conversation and how to do conversation pleasantly. Why is personality important? It's very, 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 very important. Why do they test your personality? Why is it that they don't just select you on the basis of your prelims and mains? The capacity to analyze it. Analysis from one. He's able to write on environmental problems, he's able to write on community, he's able to write on caste issues, he's able to write on the agriculture of India. Time is short, let us not waste it. He's done that essay also. Why in the hell are they calling you for the personality test? Why do you think they call you for the personality test?
To know their character.
To some extent, the character. First of all, I think, okay, character.
Personality, administration number.
Whether you will be suitable for administration, personality. Okay.
Sir, to see the person for the first time.
Exactly.
To understand how he is emotionally.
Yes.
What kind of person?
Yeah. First time to see how does that man look? What does he look like? And when faced, because this is thinking on the spot. In the prelim examination, you have a certain time. You can go to question number 1, 10, 15, 20. Go back, forward. Personality test, question asked, answer is given, over. Can't go back. So it is important that they do a personality test because they want to check up that in several situations, what is the state of your mind? What is the state of your heart? Your heart has not been tested. Your brain has been tested. Left brain, right brain, and Pundi will expand on that. That has been tested. But your heart has not been tested. Your mind has not been tested. Your soul has not been tested. Body, mind, and soul. The personality test is to check on your level of confidence, your capacity to decide, your capacity to be able to handle stress, your capacity to ensure that the best comes out in the worst situation. That's why they'll grill you. And ultimately, does this man able to think positively and be able to take the right actions at the spot based on circumstances? That is what the personality is. Okay, now why this personality is important? I think I have a person who's really good, a very good personality. So I think it's important. You may think that, what are we talking about? It's so very important that you should be completely de-stressed and in a frame of mind that you are able to go out and have a lovely conversation. How to de-stress yourself. How not to get nervous. How to recap your learning and remain focused. How to be able to, one point we always tell, one of the tips that we give, and this is something that we cover, is don't discuss with others. Because there are a lot of people in the north especially, who will come and meet you and say, excuse me, how are you, sir? You're coming for the interview. Congratulations, sir. Very good. My name is Vivek. Where are you from, sir? Wonderful. Sir, have you studied about that latest research which has come out in Japan about algae? Oh, but yeah. Are you, they not say you? No, I'm told that Spanish are asking questions about that. Bloody shit, yeah. Their job is to ensure that others get nervous and they don't get nervous. There will be no questions on any Japanese algae research ever. But they will come and throw that googly at you. So how to ensure that you remain just by yourself, calm and collected, and don't allow anyone else to unsettle you, is an art which we will teach you. A lot of the googly are a lot of these googly people who are there who will tell you, have you studied this? Did you check out on this?
How much time do you spend in front of the mirror?
At least 10 seconds or 15 seconds.
Why you don't like what you see in the mirror, is it?
Actually, how to do see mirror in my gym or physical activities lessons. So if I'm getting ready for something, since I hardly spend for 10 or 15 seconds to see my face.
So I'm asking, why? You don't like what you see in the mirror? Because you are seeing yourself only.
Yes.
It's not like that you are looking at the mirror and you say, hey, what a handsome guy, yeah. Enna super personality pa. Amarilia, we'll teach you how to do that. For the next, up to the time of your interview, your best friend is going to be the mirror. Because it will tell you exactly how you look. And that is exactly what the panel will see. The panel is the mirror. The panel sees you. So we will tell you how to sit, how to look, which is your best posture. Never keep your shirt button open. Shows disrespect. All those things matter. How to sit in a manner that when they enter and sit down, those 25-30 seconds, they feel, wow, this is a tiger here. This guy is a tiger. Or this girl who has come in is a tigress. We must have her in the service. Sat. Style. Kamala Hassan comes from Charu Hassan, this, that, etc. Family, actor, traditional. He may get national awards on this thing, but his movies don't cross 200 crores. Rajnikant, white lips, no hair, bald. He always wears a wig. No color, nothing. And yet he's a superstar. More fan following than anyone else. Amitabh Bachchan actually comes and asks him exactly, Talaiva, what is it that you do, boss? With nothing you are everything, and with everything we are nothing. That's the more important thing. We'll make you Talaivas. You have to become a Talaiva. When they sit there, they should feel, wow, this is the guy. That's important. So how do you sit? How do you smile? How do you show confidence? Because that's it. That's the 25 minutes will decide whether you are in or out. And if you are in, where are you in? All of you have realized that you have been through some of these personality tests earlier. You've also realized you've given the mains. It was a question of those 10 marks, 8 to 10 marks, which made the difference. Today I was discussing with Shri and I was asking him that, what was the expectation of his marks in the mains examination. And he says it will be about 800. This time he should be able to get about 800 plus. Add to that, let's say 200, because he got 100, much less than 200 in the last personality. 200. He's confident he'll make it into the top IAS. We'll ensure that. So that's the difference that makes. How do you greet? How do you sit? Do you know that if there is a lady member in the panel, has somebody told you, you must always greet the lady first? I don't know, but did somebody tell you this before?
No, sir.
No, sir. Oh, yes, sir. I mean, don't forget what I'm coaching. You have to start getting into that habit that coaching becomes part of your DNA. Did somebody tell you that when you enter, you're supposed to always greet the lady first in case there is a lady?
Yes. Sir, I was told to wish the chairman first and then the lady.
No. Lady takes preference over the chair. Whoever told you that, I said, is incorrect. The first person you must meet is always the lady. Greet the lady first and then the rest of them. Very important thing during the interview, as I said, is 25 to 30 minutes, and how you say. Be attentive and listen. Very, very important. I always ask these people a question, of course he doesn't have to. Jay Pringla, you pray? You pray sometimes?
Sometimes.
Whenever you pray to God?
Sometimes.
When? Kashtatala. I suppose you pray?
Yes, sir.
Sometimes. Whenever. What is prayer?
It's a request.
Prayer is a request. Okay? Fine. Fine.
Talking with God, sir.
Talking. No, when you pray to God, what is it?
You want something to happen and just.
So you basically telling God. Prayer is petitioning to God. So whenever that sometimes you pray, what is prayer?
It's establishing and connection with God.
Yeah. Speaking with God.
Demanding a relief from this situation or this occasion.
So sometimes prayer can also be some really beautiful girl has fallen in love with you. You will pray, boss. They continue. You are not saying relief. It's not always that get rid of this thing. Sometimes it's also that the situation is so good, let it continue. It's not always that you are in a tough situation. In fact, you always pray. You they're called arrow prayers. You just shoot an arrow in the air.
So, demanding the want.
Okay, but let me now come down. Have you ever gone into a prayer situation when you've gone and just said, God, I'm here. Speak to me. I want to listen. A conversation is between two or three or many. But is it a monologue or is it a dialogue? A conversation is always a dialogue, which means not mono. Mono is single, dia is more than that. Bilogue or dialogue, bilateral. Have you gone into a situation where you have gone and just said, Lord, here I am, speak to me, I want to listen. We will teach you how to listen. It's very important. How to attentively listen to the question and understand the correct meaning of the question is very important. How to be able to answer in a clear, distinct manner so that your entire 30 minutes, there's not even one excuse me, pardon, what did you say? Very, very, very important. Think and shrink. How to start the answer, how to organize the broad outline of the answer before airing it. Think and shrink. But how to do it in nanoseconds is what we will have to teach you. And then you have to practice, practice, practice. That's while you are in the chair. How to be able to say you don't know. I don't know the answer. There will be questions. Last but not the least, how to get out. How to get out of the room. It's very important. Because imagine that while you are there for 25 minutes, on the basis of a DAF, a detailed application form, on which, they have talked to you, those poor chaps have to sit there day in and day out, based on DAF, talking to unknown people. They don't know them. Some, and coming from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, different kinds of accent, different kinds of backgrounds, different kinds of subjects which they have studied, but in all probability all answered in geography or political science, even though they would have all done IIT, which means, essentially, let me quickly ask you, what's your educational background?
Being mechanical.
And what was the subject of your IAS for the main exam?
Tamil literature.
Tamil literature. So no connection between education and subject. What about you, sir?
The instrumentation.
Fantastic. What was the subject?
Political science.
Perfect. 100%. Have you be prepared for the question why? Why did you choose Tamil literature? Why did you choose political science? Why did you study and waste the time of the educational system doing engineering when you only have to write the exams in political science? Be prepared for those answers. Yeah.
Same here, sir. BE Electronics and Communication Engineering.
Subject?
Often, sir, it's Java.
Pramadam, sir. Very good. Very good. And subject? Paranga. Brothers in arms.
BE Mechanical Engineering.
I think, I'm like BA Economics, Masters in History, by the way. BA Economics, Masters in History, of course, then Masters in Economics also from the London School. But why? So they are going to talk to people who has done BE IT, BE Electronics, written subjects in geography. You have to weave the conversation to make it interesting. Otherwise, they will feel, here, what is going on? They will be asking you, then be prepared for those questions. Why a subject of education is different from the subject of preparing for the civil services. One is obviously you were pushed into it by your parents, and probably the other one, somebody would have told you that marks you get good marks. So, as I said, we'll prepare you for all those things. We have to be prepared for those answers. Then, how to thank the board and how to exit. It's very, very important. Now, imagine, as I said, you might be feeling vidudalai, let's get out. But imagine the plight of those people who have to face people like you, who've done engineering as an education, geography for something else, and political science and Tamil literature. You'll be giving the interview in Tamil or in English? You must have given the option English. Language of interview, English. Okay. So that's another question that may be asked. That having given Tamil literature as a form of subject for your main, why do you want to speak in English? So these are the things that you'll have to be prepared for. How to get out, as I said, is very important, that you have to make them feel good. That when you left also, they felt, wow, that was a good 25 minutes spent. If suddenly you feel thirsty during the course of the interview, or you have a sudden bout of coughing, what you should do? What should you do?
So, excuse yourself and drink water.
There's no water available there. There's no water available. So how to ask for a glass of water? It's possible. It's possible during 25 to 30 minutes you may suddenly feel itchy somewhere. You may want to have a glass of water. They may ask you, because that is the time when they were having a cup of tea and coffee, they may ask you, would you like to have a cup of tea? What will you say?
No, sir.
The answer should always be, yes, sir, thank you. Because you are with them. And don't, sir, is it possible to get South Indian coffee? Because, some of you you're very high on South Indian literature. Your hobby, you said, is listening to Tamil songs. Don't say, sir, I would like to have South Indian coffee, preferably decoction coffee with 25% chicory and no sugar. I'm telling you, because these kind of things happen. So, use that. Would you like to have a cup of tea? Ask me.
Do you like cup of tea?
Most welcome, sir. Most welcome. First of all, what an honor to be able to share a cup of tea with such illustrious people. I will always go outside and be able to tell my friends, today I had tea with, if you already know the name of the chairman, you can say, you go, I had chair with the same. And besides all this question is some dryness in the throat also. Oh, okay. Pa, Thambi go tea good. Of course, they'll not say Thambi. But you've taken away 30 seconds. And you are also saying that I enjoyed it. I would love to share a cup of tea with you. I'm enjoying your company. I'm enjoying that you are having a cup of tea. I would also like to have a cup of tea. Then the tea cup will come. Some familiarity will happen. Say sugar, no sugar. Some question. Some 30 seconds, 1 minute will go away asking you questions about which you have no problems because you know. So if they are offering you coffee, you say I love coffee. If they are asking you tea, say I love tea. Don't say no sir, thank you. Because which means I'm not connected with you. You are having tea, you have tea. I'm not. I'm happy as I am. I'm just giving you small tips of what this, and this will never happen in a mock interview. They will not teach you all these things. But that's what makes or breaks. So these are some of the things that we'll teach you on how to ensure that those 25 minutes is the best time of your life. And you feel that. And how to exit? Thank you so much. Because again, as I said, you've spent 25 minutes, but they'll be spending 250 minutes into 10 candidates, maybe in a day. Into 10 days, I don't know. I mean, the total number of people to be interviewed, the selection is 2,000 people, and the total number of people to be interviewed is, much more, a factor of 3 or 4 times of that. So that many minutes, and divided by the number of panels. But each panel would be doing at least some 100 odd people, so 25 into 100, 2,500 minutes is what they'll be spending, of which you are only 25. So they have, how you enjoyed the 25 minutes, wishing them the best, sir, because I know I'm leaving, but you have to sit here for longer hours. All those things makes it that when you are getting out, it's not like, thanks, boss. You enjoyed it, they enjoyed it. DAF, detailed application form. 33 questions, 10 sections. All those things, we will be going through it through a microscope. And you all have copies of your DAF. Start researching your DAF now. So if you're from Thiruvarur, start researching Thiruvarur. Which is your native village? Neyveli, then lignite, Neyveli lignite is a problem.
Chennai.
Proper Chennai. Okay. Then the street in which you live, where do you live?
Krishnamurti Salai is the name of the street.
Okay, and then who's Krishnamurti? Which Krishnamurti is named after?
The one person, there was a very popular person in my region. So it's named after him.
Which means you don't know. Basically, you don't know. Because this information I can also give about Krishnamurti without living in Krishnamurti's street. He's a very popular person. He is named after Krishnamurti. It's a very popular area in my area. Have you researched who was his father? Why is it named after him? Was he the mayor of city? Research. Which is what I'm telling you. Research. 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 Weave a story. Any question that gives you an opportunity to weave a story so that they are listening to you rather than silence, not knowing what to answer, etc., etc. And every question gives you an opportunity to be able to show your personality that he's a talaiva. Every question should be able to, you should see it, that it gave me another opportunity to give me another side of my personality, which was fantastic, and that's it. Research. So start doing research. I'm telling you, please start doing research. Research your address, research the name of your street, research your districts, research your name, your parents' name, your parents, suppose, whatever be the parents' vocation. So if there are farmers, fine. If the agriculture is fine. He's already working in government. Which department of the government? What about that department? All those things. Start researching. Both father, mother, everyone. Because that's the detail which is already there. It's already there in the DAF. All those 33 questions you must quickly understand. Educational qualification, they will ask you. They will ask you about your educational qualification. Some basic questions, not something deep, because obviously you will be knowing more about that subject than anyone else. So try and learn a little bit about your subject. But anyway, we'll go through your DAF in great detail. Socio-economic questionnaire. Your employment, if you're already employed. Extracurricular activities, very important again. Both hobbies as well as extracurricular activities are very, very important. Because, as I said, knowledge is fine, but ultimately they want to see whether you are a person with a heart. And with the same situation, everything else remaining constant, can you think of something new? And that's why I showed you Prashant Nair or that, Bodu or Pranjal Patil. Same situation, same circumstances. They were able to do something which is very different. You'd like to say something on hobbies?
Yes.
And extracurricular activities. Anything is fine. Just a half a glass. That's mine only. Thank you.
Handout, sir. More than talking just about your hobbies and stuff like that, how many people have inspirations in your life? Like sir is an inspiration to so many people. What about you? Do you have anyone? Nobody? Who? Okay, Ambedkar, okay. Alright, anyone else? Think of. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar did engineering?
No.
So why did you take engineering? Why did you all take engineering?
Parents.
Exactly. So you've been leading life according to what someone else told you. Okay? So you should have told no, B.R. Ambedkar is my inspiration. I want to do what he did. You should have told no. Why didn't you say? For inspiration, you should be able to follow what they did, no? So that's how an inspiration is meant. So take down a few names I'll give you, okay? Research them, like sir was saying, okay? First name, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Terima Teriyada. What's his background?
Sir, either I was saying yes, sir.
Or no, sir. No, sir. Sir.
Silence is accepted by me is the suicide. The only thing that I expect no answer to come to me is the graveyard. Because, hello.
Blank. Echo will come. Abdul Kalam, Terima Teriyada.
Yes, sir.
Where is he from?
Rameshwaram. Which school? Corporation. Okay, then what else? How did he study? How did he pay his fees?
Editing newspapers.
Very good. Okay. What did he finish? Which college?
From Madras Institute of Technology.
Okay. What did he learn?
Aeronautical engineering.
Aerospace. Yeah. Okay. And did he apply for the armed forces? SSB? What happened?
He failed.
So what did he feel?
Like he felt let down and he wanted to quit.
Then? What did he become?
He became the Supreme Commander of Armed.
Brilliant. So that's someone is inspiration, right? So like that, I want you to write down few more names, okay? Right. N-I-C-K, Nick. V-U-J-I-C-I-C. Okay. Charles, C-H-A-R-L-E-S. Schulzer, S-H-U-L-S-E-R. Okay. Mankor, M-A-N-N-K-U-R. If you go to the YouTube and hit any of these names, you'll get these guys. They're all inspiration. Just to tell you about Mankor. She started running when she was 93 years old. Her son used to be a champion. Okay. World champion at 78. Some conversation, he went and told his mom, 93, you're okay, no? Why can't you start running? She started running. At 101, she is the world champion of the world for 100 meters. At 101. In her category, 100 years and above. 1 minute and 14 seconds. She's a champion in 100 meter, 200 meter javelin. World champion. Think about it. When they can be inspirations, why can't you be? உங்களுக்கு என்ன குறைச்சல்? ஏன் உங்களால பண்ண முடியாது? If I ask you, you should be able to answer these questions. Okay? So in fact, if I were to leave you at this particular point, I'll just give you an example and I leave. Since sir mentioned about the brain and stuff like that, உங்களுக்குள்ள it's an amazing machine, right? You've got a gift called life. What are you doing with it? Is the question. Okay. You have 100 billion brain cells. எவ்வளவு யூஸ் பண்றீங்க? Probably 1%. What are you going to do to be able to activate this that you have? Okay. We were talking about right brain, left brain, Leah. It has so much to do, including this. Pannunga paakalam. I want to touch. One thing, yeah, you first observe. Like he says, listen, observe what I'm doing. I'm not doing what you're doing.
It's moving backwards when it's moving forward. So try to make it.
Good, you got it.
Push it up.
இதுதான் மிரர்ல பிராக்டிஸ் பண்ண சொல்றாரு. ஓகேங்களா? எல்லாமே பிராக்டிஸ்னால வரும். Okay, so you need to practice. Like he says, start with one. Yeah, and add the other. You can do all of these things. So physically, mentally, emotionally, we will train you. That is why this 20 hours. Like we said, if you can create that foundation in you, the rest is a breeze. In fact, anga pogumbodhu you should become an inspiration to them. ஒரு எம்ஜிஆர் பாட்டு கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்களா? உன்னை அறிந்தால் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்களா? Since we started with music, I'll close with music. Okay, there's a second paragraphல he talks about மாபெரும் சபையினில் நீ நடந்தால் உனக்கு மாலை. ஏன்? That is the inspiration you should be. Okay, people should look up to you and say, boss, நீங்க வந்து இன்டர்வியூல போகும்போது they don't have to put garlands. But if they feel that, boss, here is someone who can be an inspiration, you're already chosen. There's nothing more that's required. But adukku vandu groundwork you should be able to do. You should be able to strengthen your foundation and things will happen. So I'm not talking about, or sir also is not talking about only this IAS interview. Okay, we're talking about beyond that what? Like he's saying, after you became IAS, enna panninga? He was talking about inspirations like that, right? So you should be an inspiration at the end of it. This program will help you for that. Okay, thank you very much.
So go back to the way I said the only thing they know about is that. So we'll help you research your DAF,
Sir.
and we'll help you research your DAF in a manner that
it's not the, so the DAF should not be the obstacle for you to slip and fall down. The DAF should be the foundation on which you will build up to succeed. So research it well. Go back to your DAF, start studying on every aspect of your DAF very, very, very strongly, including your community. So when did it start? I mean, if it's OBC, then OBC. When did it start? When the classification come? Various agitations which have taken, the new reservation which has come, which is now based not on caste and community but on basis of income. What are the parameters for that? How do you think, is it feasible, not feasible? Start researching all those things, because these are the things that on which you may be questioned. And when you are questioned, you must know the answer. These are things on which you cannot say, I do not know. It's too big to be happening and you are saying not knowing about it. I think a book has also been prepared by KingMakers Academy, in which they have given enough material for you to read about various things which have happened, including the cyclones that came and hit Tamil Nadu, the latest things that are happening. Another, since most of you are in Tamil Nadu, and Tamil Nadu has that unique thing about actors getting into politics. It's something again on which you should be able to prepare an answer, and it should be a good answer as to whether, how many actors made it big in the United States as politicians?
To my knowledge, I have not. He became the governor of California.
What about Ronald Reagan, who was the president of America? What was he? An actor. So, I mean, what about, so I'm saying there are a lot of places, a lot of other countries, if you can research and talk about 5 or 6 countries, leading countries of the world, where you are able to say that, well, it's not, I mean, it's a phenomena which I think happens across the world, where anyone who's larger than life on screen, people tend to follow. And the following sometimes may extend from purely being in films to also being in politics. And I think of Ronald Reagan, President of America, so-and-so Ehrlich, who was President of Germany, so-and-so of Norway. There are 2 or 3, 4 countries which can be brought. Then you know, every question, as I said, is an opportunity to be able to tell the panel that I know. And they feel, wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So it's important that you research, start researching, because these are the questions typically about Tamil Nadu, which people do ask. You know, what do you think, that why is it that film stars become chief ministers in Tamil Nadu? Jayalalitha, or people with the film world, Karunanidhi, MGR. Now, for the last, from 1977, you know, from 77 onwards, it's somebody to do with films. I mean, and the aspiration is now again in a Kamala Hassan, Rajnikant. There are more people who are coming in the pipeline who seem to be, you know, coming out of the film world, including Stalin's family's son. You know, everybody is part of the film world also. So be prepared for that, but research it well. So golden, of course, as I said, start early, know yourself. To go back to the DAF, I think a very, very important aspect is extracurricular activities. And I hope all of you have, I discussed a bit with Prithvi. You have any extracurricular activities, hobbies? DAF lena potukkinga.
Watching movies, Tamil movies.
So I think both of you ningala jodiya irkinga. Listening to good Tamil songs, watching good Tamil movies. I think there is good and Tamil movies like opposites. I don't think there is anything. Good dana soningla. You just said good. Okay, but I think we'll need to work on that. We'll need to really work on that. But is that a hobby? It's like saying eating food. How can that be a extracurricular activity? Movies all of us watch. Anyway, you already filled it up in the DAF, so we need to really work on that. I think Bhuvi Nathan has always been telling me. And we have been telling people that I think all of you who are writing, while you are writing your prelims, you should be told as to how you should fill up your DAF in case you are selected in the main examination. What about you, sir? What have you written as your?
Playing badminton.
Okay, so shuttle badminton, playing, that's a hobby. Okay, that's the extracurricular activity. What about hobbies?
Singing, not professionally, but I like to sing.
In the bathroom. Singing in the bathroom.
Bathroom, functions, college.
So when he asked you what's your inspiration, how is it that you didn't mention any singer?
Sir, I actually don't believe in inspirations. I take the good things from a lot of personalities.
That is inspiration.
That's inspiration. Good things from various.
I don't strictly try to be that person in my life. Not actually follow it.
No, inspiration is not about becoming like that person. It's not like becoming a duplicate copy. So inspiration is just to be able to. Okay, I think we need a lot of polishing. With those, this thing you can't go beyond 170 answers. I'm being brutally honest.
Playing chess.
Chess. Yeah, you mentioned last time chess. Chess is a hobby. What about you?
My hobby is like public speaking. So.
Okay. And what about some extracurricular activities?
I jog. So.
Running. Running. Okay. Good. Now, my only point is, how does the heart come out in this? That you are a person with a heart and a soul, and not just a body and a mind. So no concern for environment, no concern for nature, no concern for animals, no concern for the less privileged, no concern for those who are challenged. Nothing. We have to develop.
I have questions.
Yes.
So obviously, we have concerns about the things you mentioned, but it wouldn't go to the extent of calling it as a hobby. So, hobby is something.
So which means you lack a passion. Compared to that, somebody who says that, as I was telling, very simple question, and please don't take it like we are trying to, I'm only doing it with the idea of intention of improving the feel-good factor. He mentioned listening to Tamil songs. Now that is like, as I said, you have opened an ocean of questions to be asked in which possibly the answers may not be known to you. When you say, first of all, when you say only Tamil songs, then why only Tamil songs? So, from Tamil Nadu, only Tamil songs, it's regional, parochial, close-mindedness.
Would that be projected that way?
Yes, very clear. I listen to, as I said, if you are listening to a particular genre of Tamil songs, it makes sense.
Like folk.
I said, first of all, when you're starting from Tamil songs, you're starting from Ovayar to Sid in time terms. Then from Karnataka to Carnatic music to, classical music to, now the pop is there. Tamil pop is there also. Tamil rap is there. From there you are the same. Then gender, male singers, female singers. Anybody can question you about anything. But if you're really passionate about something, what I said is, if I listen to Tamil songs, research them a little bit, find out something about the singer, and then I go and there's an old age home near my residence. I go and play those songs and talk to these old people about those songs. Then the hobby becomes more of a passion, and it shows a character like a Prashant Nair. The tank is there, so many people came, tank is there, man is there, okay. But there's a passion, and he linked it with what? Zero. Because all the biryani was also sponsored later on. And let's be clear, they are looking for reasons, maybe I didn't tell you this, but they are looking for reasons to reject you. The UPSC looks for reasons to reject. Okay, any small reason they will find to reject you, they will reject you. If they cannot find any reason to reject you, you will be selected. So please get into the fact that you have to show a heart. And the simplest is today as young people, you have to be concerned with the environment. You have to be concerned with climate change. You have to be concerned with pollution. Delhi is a city of pollution. Chennai is amongst the few cities which are likely to face water riots along with Bangalore in a few number of years. Research has shown that. Are you not concerned with that? You're all from Chennai. Smita Nagarajan is an IAS officer from Tamil Nadu. She was also earlier working in the municipal department, municipal administration, water supply department as additional secretary. She knows everything about the water schemes and municipal administration schemes of water in Tamil Nadu. Drinking water is a major problem in Chennai. Every year, the same problem takes place. So either there's a flood or there's a drought. There's nothing like normal. Chennai has also been listed as one of the cities which will have water riots the way it's going 10 years from now. What are you doing about it? I'm asking a question. Chairman of the board, what are you doing about it? Start preparing. Start preparing on the water challenges of the city. Start researching. What is the population? What's the per capita consumption? What's the thing, etc., etc. Start researching. These are questions that will be asked. And if you have a heart, you would have been part of an NGO or an ex-NORA or a Rotractor, Rotary, Lion group or any group where if you say, sir, yes, this is a matter of concern. In fact, I'm part of a small group of young boys and girls, or I'm part of so-and-so Rotary, which is about water awareness. And once in a month or once in a week or once in 15 days, we've got these posters. I participate by going out to the beach and we show people the posters. I've also been to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 schools in my area and we've distributed pamphlets about water awareness, on the problem of water awareness, how to reduce water consumption, how to recycle water. I also go and talk to people in schools, etc. Because andamari pasanga they will want that I volunteer, and in school, cooperation school, especially this school, that school, this school, in the more school, I have personally gone and addressed the students on water conservation, on all the aspect, how to conserve, how to consume less. All the C's are there. There are so many C's about water consumption, all those things. But that shows that this man has got a heart of gold. So he's got a hobby which is, whatever hobby it is, he's aware of the problem. He wants to be part of the solution and they don't want bystanders. They don't want people who know, okay, Amma sir, problem irukku. Na paakren sir, distance lende paathitu irukku. That somebody in any case, Punjab is also doing, probably some research person in US is also doing, watching Chennai is having water problem. But as a young person living in Chennai, what are you doing about it? Because that will show the personality that when you are faced with a challenge or a problem later on of anything, you will be able to find a solution, you will get into the solution, you will fold your sleeves, jump in and solve. Start working. I'm telling you, start researching. This okay, anyway, no problem. No problem. So please start noting this point which I'm telling you, start researching on these issues, start working on these issues. This is the 100, 200 hours that you will need to spend. Your answers should be perfect. All these things have to be done. Go through the DAF again. What are the hobbies that you've done? What are the extracurricular activities you've done? Try and convert some activity between now and the interview in terms of what will show that it's not just a hobby for the sake of listening to music, but that you actually take it forward and do good out of it. Or you said watching movies, is it? I don't know, this hobby, how does that qualify as a, it's like saying eating breakfast. How is that a hobby? Once in a while, all of us go and see movies. So gardening, I mean, like my hobby, I said my hobby was chess. Chess is a hobby. Running is a hobby.
You take time to do it and you are interested.
Sir, Google phone irka? Define hobby. Just check it out. It'll tell you the answer. Why are you asking me? DIY, do it yourself. Hobby is gardening, something to do with nature, telling stories, listening to music and going and sharing it with old people, reviewing Tamil movies, could be a hobby. I watch and I review Tamil movies, or I watch movies, then I take the clip and then show it to corporation schools and tell them what lessons can be learned from Tamil movies. That could be a hobby. But summa naan tariyave paathite aur padam paakre. How the hell is it a hobby, yaar? Anyway, you filled up the form. We'll try and break something into it. But meanwhile, please, between now and this thing, try and do something which will show that you have a heart of gold.
Sir is not asking you to manufacture a hobby.
No.
He's asking you to take up something which is more than you. Something that you can give back. That's what he's talking about.
Extracurricular activities are also, which is more than your normal curriculum. So that's why it's called extracurricular. Extracurricular is as it is you're studying the subject. Extracurricular is what you do in your extracurricular activities in your school when they ask you. So you have to join, if you're engineering, but you have to join music, theatre, drama, elocution. All those are extracurricular activities. Poetry writing, story writing, these are all extracurricular activities. And there are various clubs and colleges level also, which you're supposed to join besides the normal curriculum. So, you must have done something. You must have been part of some extracurricular clubs. Include that, research on that. But when you are expected to be part of the topmost service of this country, they expect you to be top of the top. Just to give you my example, I think they asked me what is my extracurricular activity. It was Taekwondo. And I only wrote Taekwondo deliberately. I didn't even write that it's a Korean form of martial art. I just wrote Taekwondo. Knowing fully well, of course those days there was no DAF. It was just a very simple kind of form. Knowing fully well that they'll not even know what's the meaning of Taekwondo, and they will ask, what is this, your hobby or this thing? So you filled up Taekwondo. What is Taekwondo? Gives you a chance to speak. And you say that there are so many types of martial art. This is one of the forms of martial art. It consists of two letters, Tai and Kwon and Do. Two means a combination of Tai means hand, one is leg. So a combination of a martial art. It gives you time to speak. Now if you are into karate or judo or anything else, running, swimming. What's your curriculum? What's your life here? What do you do? Tell me now. Get up in the morning.
I play badminton.
Good. So badminton, very good. Now badminton is the in thing. Badminton league is going on. You're aware of that. Now the professional badminton league is going. Research badminton. Fully.
It's not badminton you played in school, now stopped.
So I'm playing now.
Exactly. So then you will be able to speak about it.
So then you have that's a winner. So who should be your inspiration? How can you say there's no bloody inspiration? Saina Nehwal is not inspiration. PV Sindhu is not inspiration. Not inspiration. Srikanth is not inspiration. The badminton, not the cricket. He's not inspiration. Prakash Padukone is not inspiration. No. Saina Nehwal and you could teach Pandradhe or Payan Irkana. Our academy. What's the name of that academy in which PV Sindhu? He's not inspiration. He's not bloody make it, yaar. Make it, sir. Pulela Gopinath is my inspiration. Why? Sir, because he's not just Arjuna, he's Arjuna and Dronacharya combined. He played the game and is now bringing out the next generation. Payan Pramadma irkarapa. I have no inspiration, sir. I have no inspiration. Means what? I move from room to room. What? Why should I take you, yaar? Why the hell should I take you in the IAS? A guy who has no inspiration in life. Our inspiration, where I'll get inspired. I'm being brutal. But the idea is to, in the forge, when they are training people, they kick them, boss. Really hard. So that when the finish line comes, there's the chest that goes out first. Which is what we want. So research badminton now. Research means research it really well. What is the meaning of the word? It is the fastest game in the world. It is, It is the fastest game in the world. What is the speed of the shuttle?
could go up to 400 kilometers.
473 kilometers to be absolutely precise. There's a, I think, Korean smash guy called Boon Jang. He was tested 473 kilometers per hour, which is cricket is 145, 150 kilometers per hour. So what is the speed of various projectiles? All those things you must know. What is the speed of the Bud shuttle? What is the speed of the table tennis ball? What is the speed of the tennis ball? What is the speed of the cricket ball? And what is the hierarchy of speeds of various games? I used to play shuttle also at a fairly good level. Unfortunately, again at the state level. I was also the doubles champion in the IAS Academy. So you must be able to draw them into your area of strength, whatever it is. Running means, again, all full research on all running. So if you may not be a short runner, but you should know all about Usain Bolt and the short distance running, men, women, etc. A friend of mine, a batchmate in fact, who is now election commissioner, Ashok Lavasa. His daughter Avni Lavasa is also in the IAS, Jammu and Kashmir cadre. She's a very famous person, collector of lay. If you go to, again, just Google or whatever it is, Avni Lavasa, you'll see about a lot of work that she's doing in lay. One of the questions that she was asked was that she's a 21-kilometer runner. She runs for 21 kilometers. Now she runs for 21 kilometers, so she's obviously a marathon runner. So they asked her, the panel asked her, I see that from your hobby you are a middle distance runner. And she said, yes sir. So what distance do you run? So she said, I started with 5 kilometers, 10 and now I do 21 kilometers. I do the half marathon. So what's the record in marathon? You know what she answered? Which category, sir? Men's category, women's category, this category, that category. They said, no, you can. She told all 4. Junior marathon, this, all 4. So which means the board was basically being told, hey, your question is too general. I think your question needs to be more specific. In a very kind of manner, but she was able to tell. And she knew all middle distances also, 1500 and all, men, women. So please research, start researching. Start researching on your game of strength. So if it's badminton, and you play any game, Prithvi? Cricket again, start researching cricket. Cricket means again from the test match now, things have moved from cricket 5-day to 50 overs to 20 overs and all the research about change of color, ball used to be red, now it has become white, why it became like that, etc. Everything about cricket, start researching. All about cricket. Then India's position, then again you have no inspiration. You said Baba Saheb Ambedkar, that is one. Good. Research all about Baba Saheb Ambedkar. All about Baba Saheb Ambedkar. You cannot necessarily, it's again not necessarily that you have the inspiration.
Of course.
Huh?
Of course.
So say it, yaar. We proudly say, Rajnikant is my inspiration, yaar. Yeah, really. I didn't know him till I got into Tamil Nadu. But when I came to Tamil Nadu, a man who started off from nothing here and virtually being a bus conductor and then goes on to become, he was one of the worst villains. If you see the old movies like Padinar Vaidile and all those things, a typical villain, he used to be chasing girls and almost raping them and things like that. And today to the point that he's petta, he's like, he's the protector of everybody. From a rapist to a protector, what more do you want? I'm a big fan. So he's your inspiration. There's nothing wrong in saying Rajnikant is your inspiration, but you must be able to say for the right reasons. From a person who was nothing to a person who has become everything, Rajnikant is the reason, sir. And study all about Rajnikant. If you're asking about Tamil movies, they may ask you about that. Study all about Tamil movies. They may ask you about Tamil movies. What kind of movies do you watch? Old movies, new movies, classical movies, religious movies, or some fun movies. But research completely on movies. And from there, you must be able to take the conversation to something better. Chess, again, Vishwanathan Anand, the whole chess is a big area. But excitement would be, as I said again, that I do chess and how do you share that hobby then? Which I told you also last time. How do you share that passion with others and not just keep it to yourself? That shows a heart of gold, which is what you must be able to do and be able to communicate to the board. That you are not just a person of flesh and bones, you also have a heart and you also have a soul, which is what they want. They are looking for people who have got hearts of gold and souls of diamond. That's what the panel is looking for. You will have it, you have it. You have that potential energy, as he says. What is potential energy? What is potential energy?
All engineering graduates come.
So which means it's there. There's no absence. And what is kinetic? From potential, when movement starts, something comes and lagao the thas and it becomes kinetic. So all of you have potential energy. But did it take someone else to do that touch for you, or your heart and soul converted that potential energy into a kinetic energy? Which means I felt something about it. I was emotional about movies. I'm emotional about Tamil songs. But I cannot just keep it to myself, sir. I have to go out and share it. So what did I do? Who did I share it with? Did I share it with? I could share it with friends. I'm part of a club. I could be part of an old Tamil song association. We go and analyze, we research. I write articles on it. I write in some magazines, I write in Tamil magazines, I share my knowledge. That is what shows that you're not just a guy who's a potential energy person. And that you are a potential energy person who's already on your own because of your heart of gold and a soul of diamond. You have converted it into potential. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for sparkling diamonds. They're not looking for pieces of coal. So that's it. Typically, read your biodata, develop positive attitude, self-confidence, don't compromise and lie. Don't tell lies. Kadai chola denge. This is again some golden tips. We will be telling you all about it. Understanding the questions. So which is very important, which I told you about the importance of prayer. That prayer practice to just listen. Listen to the voice of the Supreme One. So prayer is not about petitioning. That is petitioning. UPSC interview, that is prayer. Listening is like, how do you want me to prepare? Listen to the voice of God. That is preparation. So that is where you have to learn to listen. Listen carefully. Prepare on your hobbies. Use common sense. So typically they said all 5 senses are there. Sense of smell, sense of this thing. But I think most important thing is common sense. You've got to learn on that. Do's. This is what we'll teach you. How to be respectful to the board, speak honestly, truthfully and modestly, answer in an audible manner, be polite and courteous, be consistent, speak slowly and clearly, accept your mistake boldly. Do not avoid unnecessary details, never make sweeping statements, don't give hasty replies. Do not chew gum. Don't be chewing gum over there when you're sitting there. Don't criticize government policies or even individuals, because you don't have to get into that. You can discuss strategy, you can discuss policies, but individuals and all, I think abiliable. This is how we'll teach you. How we will be doing it? As I said, it's a 20-hour intensive program, and one session will be on how to, there'll be sessions on how to de-stress yourself. Mentors will be consisted of army officers, experts in psychology, stress management. We'll have sessions with bureaucrats. We've already lined up, Mr. Bhuminathan has already told us, we have lined up a lot of young officers who will come and share their experience. You can also go into the, Bhuminathan tells me there are a lot of interviews on the YouTube on, what interviews people faced, how did they face, what kind of questions were asked, how did they respond when they were asked a question for which they did not know an answer. These are all people who are successful. So these are people who have already made it to the service. So what kind of questions, how did it happen? Start seeing a lot of films, videos. We'll also be sharing and presenting you with some, but start working on that. You will have one session of service officers. I will also be talking to, including Smita Nagarajan, who is part of the UPSC and others, as to what is their expectation. What is it they want to expect from you? What is it they see in you, want to see in you exhibited within those 25-30 minutes? And what kind of answers and what kind of behavior will ensure that that projection happens, that they see that potential in you, that this guy has the capacity to make it to an administration, or he has the capacity to, he has what they call OLQ, officer-like qualities. That is something that we will try and bring out. We will also be conducting mock interviews with a large panel of, this is all part of the 20R, which includes bureaucrats, technocrats, academic, as close as possible or almost identical to the kind of panel that you will have to face. But in the mock interview, apart from the questioning, will also then tell you as to how to modify. This is where you did right, this is where you did wrong, this is where you need to improve, this is perfect, improve on it. Typically like a SWOT analysis. Build up on your strengths. This answer was good, develop on it. What are the weaknesses? Can we eliminate that? What were the opportunities? How do we build on that? Are there any threats that we face? How do we reduce that? So a complete SWOT analysis of your personality through the mock interview. So it's not just that you come into the room, thank you so much, go out, have a cup of tea and go. No. It will be a learning process. It's not just a testing process, it will be a testing and learning process. That's what we plan to cover. I would want all of you to get into group discussions. Once part of that exercise, we will teach you as to then how you should become the panel. So 4 or 5 of you should sit as a panel, interview one, then keep changing positions and see that how does it look. And then be frank. Look, this is where I felt you were good. This is where you were this thing. You were this thing. Can you do it like this? And all this you have to practice even with your friends and others also. You have to keep on doing. The mock interview is like a continuous process which will keep testing the recipe that you have already provided. Does the vehicle run? Is the point that you'll have to do. We'll also be sharing videos. We'll be doing all those things. But very typically, very important is something that Unni and I have already stressed. 20 hours has to be backed by a minimum of 200 hours of practice at home. It all depends on where you are from the finishing line. It may take, minimum according to me is 200. It may need even 250, 300, but that effort you have to put in to ensure that, when you cross the finishing line, you are a product which is acceptable. Acceptable in the sense that you enjoyed the personality test and they enjoyed. My minimum is 200. All of you should get minimum 200 out of 275. How do we reach the 200 mark? What will it take? We will teach you, but then you will have to go and do it yourself. So we will tell you, we will show you, we will coach you, but then you will have to let you. And in that let you will be the mock. And in that let, whatever the flows, we will again show you, coach you, tell you, and let you. That cycle will continue till that perfect, so perfect that when you finish your mock interview, I will say that nothing more to tell, nothing more to show. You are a perfect product now. This is the exercise. It's like the exercise which you did while preparing for the prelims, preparing for the mains, again and again and again. It's that ritual, it's that rigorous. Any other questions, etc., I'll be very happy to take. We'll be very happy to take any questions. Perfect. Very good. Yeah, you have to greet them in a plural way. I mean, if there's one, it'll be a singular form of address. If it's a plural, it'll have to be a double means you'll have to greet in the ladies or whatever. So, but how to greet is what is important, and we will be telling you how to greet them. It's a very important question, yes. Any other questions? Chitra, you come late, what happened? Your Google Maps didn't work.
Sorry, sir.
I said your Google Maps didn't work.
Not like that, sir. I was not well, sir. I had some problem.
You have a problem with headache as it is, isn't it?
No, sir. Actually, I got some allergy in my eye. Some infection. I was not able
Okay. So some tips now, from now onwards. वो खाने का टिप दे दो सर पहला तो आप इनको बता दो. Tip number 1.
Don't go out and eat. That's the first thing that he says. Or even if you're eating outside healthy food, don't go to the local, the outlets, Kayeti Bhavans, all of that. Eat right, sleep right, exercise right. These these are all little tips, but it makes a huge difference. Like he was saying, just imagine if you go out and eat on the last day and on the day before the interview and you fall sick. Just imagine the number of years you've spent on and say you can't attend the interview because you're not well. It doesn't feel good, right? Or you're going there with a flu or with a loose motion. Just imagine how your interview would go.
That you are not speaking, someone is speaking. You are not making the sounds that come up in the sounds. So these are very practical tips, but I'm telling you right from now today, almost stop if you've got habit of going out eating roadside food and GM, etc. Nothing should take your attention away from the final day. That's one. So
We were sharing with the group here last time, we were saying, as you go for a championship, a marathon, any competition, like a sports person, you're completely involved with that focus, the last 100 meters that I need to do, last 25 meters that I need to do. Okay, that's the focus. You can't fall sick. You can't be unhealthy. You can't fall down the stairway and break your leg. You can't go with all of these things matter, right? I mean, it can become a conversation point if you have a fracture and have a band, but they will say that you're not taking care of yourself. Right?
and some will be right reason that you were probably crossing the road and somebody came and hit you.
Yeah, that's
and then it's okay. Yeah. But typically, I always give the example of Usain Bolt, sub 10 seconds. He prepares for 365 days into 10 hours a day. 3,600 hours he prepared for a thing which ultimately tests is less than 10 seconds. You have 25 to 30 minutes. So imagine the number of hours you have to prepare to be able to perform consistently over 25 to 30 minutes.
No, when Sir said 200 hours, do you feel it's not possible?
Yes, sir. It's possible. 2,000 hours is possible. How many, as we talk today, it's 19. The earliest interview is at least about a month away.
20 days, sir.
20 days.
20 days.
When is your interview?
20th February. 1 month.
So, 1 month away. So, 1 month is number of days into number of hours. You still
In
about
fact, so I was doing a program for NIFT and I was asking them how many hours do you do what? 24 hours. What do you do? Okay, so I asked them how much do you sleep? How much do you work? How much do you waste your time? All of that we worked out and we still realized we have 10 hours available every day. Every day, think about it.
Unaccounted 10 hours. Not able to understand what do I do for those 8 to 10 hours. It could be travel, nothing else.
What's that? You'll be surprised, I'm not joking. You work it out. You do a diary and find out what you're doing every day. Next time you have that much hours.
So I think straight away start looking at the fact as to how you need to devote 200 hours minimum. When you go back, as I said, if you have a good mirror, if you don't, please get one. Find one. A good mirror. A mirror where your entire thing can be seen. From your face to your body.
Even if you don't have full length, it will go close. You'll be able to see.
Yeah. Depending on the distance, you can see. Start looking at yourself in the mirror. Do you see somebody who would, you have to be able to go to a point that you should love to be in front of the mirror. And the typical movies that you pass into the mirror and then you say, hey, I have some time. Oh, it's me. Oh, it's me. Oh, sure. Which is your best angle? So is it this? Is it this? Is it that? You see in the mirror. Because that is exactly what the panel will see. Anyway, on posturing also we will teach you what is the best posture, how to sit, how to keep your legs. What is the meaning of each posture? What does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? Everything has a meaning in terms of psychology. So somebody from psychology will come and tell you that the way you sit